What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about the altcoin market today. We're gonna check in on the altcoin cycle. I want this video to give a good blueprint to the path forward over the rest of this month of December and going into the month of January. What we can expect on an average basis for any general altcoin in the space, what percentage growth we can see, and if you see a larger percentage growth than this over the next month and a half, that might indicate that you have a winner. And if you see a lower percentage growth in this, you might not have a loser, but you just might have an underperformer. As I've said in one of my recent videos, there are going to be coins that overperform, coins that underperform, but they're all going to perform. So I don't think it's fair to say any of them are going to be losers, but the ones that are definitely the winners, they will outperform the projections that I'll go over in this video. So if that sounds good to you, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. The others chart, for those of you that don't know, is the crypto total market cap, excluding the top 10 coins. So from Cardano and up, it just doesn't include those top 10 coins in the chart. So this is essentially what the average altcoin chart would look like, more or less, right? At any rate, from a high to a low point, from the last cycle high to the last cycle low, we have closed a couple weeks now above the 886, above 394, and this does look like a breakout move. This does look like a continuation, more or less, of this move up, right? You had a move up, consolidated, and now you're continuing here. I have a feeling that this move will probably be overall equivalent or similar, at least in length, to the move that preceded it. So something that would take you up into this area here, something around 838 billion to 1.65 trillion for your next stop on the altcoin market cap cycle. That's what makes sense to me. And I don't think that this is going to be the end of the cycle up here. I mean, maybe it is. I don't think it's going to be the end of the cycle. I think the altcoin market cap, the others chart, will see dramatically higher targets than this. It might even reach $6 trillion is kind of actually my expectation. I just want to make sure that's right. Yeah, six trillion or more is actually what my expectation is. But the short-term stuff, the short-term stuff would be anything from 838 to 1.65 trillion. What I mean by short-term stuff is I mean anything by the end of December to the end of January, and likely going into January. I'm sure there will be some coins that top off momentarily, right? Not cycle-ending stuff, but just momentarily topping off by the end of December. But most coins probably top off in January. So let's just get this average growth measured here. From the current price, the average growth for the average altcoin, based on what I'm seeing here, by the end of January, what we could expect is an average 111% growth across the board. So essentially, if your coin by the end of January grows more than 111%, that's probably a good thing. If it grows less than 111%, that's not an ideal thing. That means you probably have a coin that's going to underperform the rest of the market, right? Bitcoin, for example, will probably grow less than 111% by January, right? Bitcoin right now is at 106,000. It's not going to be worth 212,000. So a lot of these, there will be a lot of coins that do underperform this, and a lot of those probably will be in the top 10, but there will be plenty that are outside the top 10 that underperform that as well. I don't know if you stop there though, right? That's by the end of January. You could stop there, but maybe perhaps you go as high as 1.11 trillion. Now, I do expect we will find some resilience here, some resistance. I don't believe that by, excuse me, had to clear my throat there. I don't believe that by the end of January, by the end of this move, we'll be at 1.65 trillion. We could be. It's possible. But truthfully, I think something around 1 trillion, around this 1414 makes sense to me. And that's about 177% increase. So, in other words, if your altcoin doesn't grow at least 110%, let's say, between now and the end of January, you have probably have an underperformer. If you have a coin that performs greater than 179% from here until the end of January, you probably have a overperformer, right? Anything in between is probably something that's going to lie or fall in that average growth overall for the rest of the cycle. And given the current readings, for the average growth for the rest of the cycle, I would expect that you see anything from like a 13 to a 20x, probably 13 to a 16x across the board, something in that kind of range. But that's not the point of this video. This is just to call the upcoming move. So where I'm getting this from, again, this extended zone here, the 1272 to the 1618, this zone here is because we are breaking the 886. Anytime you take a fib from a high to a low, whenever you have that move from a high to a low, your move down, and you're retracing from there, okay? When this retracement breaks above the 886, the next target area is your primary fib extension zone, which is the 1272 and the 1618. As defined, right? At least defined by me. And I've been doing this for 8 years. The fibs are what I do. It's my bread and butter. It's my analysis, you guys. So when I say that's the primary target zone, I mean that's for a reason, right? I very much don't expect the 1618. It could happen. It's possible, right? If we see that, I mean, that'd be great. That means the average altcoin across the board we'll see at least a 4x, a 4.2x by January. That doesn't sound right to me. I personally don't think that. Something around a 2x or a 3x, I could see that by January for the average coin, but I think the top performers will do like a 4x or more, right? And the underperformers definitely will underperform this. But I don't see this, the 1618, even though it is in the primary expected zone, I don't see that happening. The 1414 I really do like because, again, that is around that 1 trillion psychological level, and we could pierce just above it. It is very common to go just above the 1414. It is possible, however, that we could find resistance at the 1272. Perhaps we pierce just through the 1272 as well, just below the 1414, and we find resistance at $1 trillion somewhere in between. So again, just going with the notion that, you know, anything that's above 180% growth essentially between now, December 17th, and the end of January, probably around the 20th or around the inauguration is what I'm thinking for Trump. That's when I think we'll probably see a pullback in the markets. Not because it's a bearish event, but I expect that it will actually be anticipated as a bullish event. And you know the old saying, buy the hype, sell the news. If you don't know that saying, just type it in somewhere on Google or YouTube, like old investors saying, buy the hype, sell the news. There's a reason for it, right? Or look up type in like psychological reasoning for buy the hype, sell the news, stuff like that. Man, I'm going off on a whole detour here, but I do think the end of January will provide a more momentary pause. And again, this pause for the average altcoin will occur after, you know, we see it in around like 2.1x to a 2.8x across the board. And then if your coin outperforms that, you have an overperformer, underperforms that, underperformer. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I don't really know if I have anything else I want to say. The weekly RSI looks pretty damn bullish to me. Looks very bullish, but it's overbought. Doesn't that mean it's time to sell? No. You know, the last time that it was overbought over here, it got overbought right here, and it started to, you know, it was growing up until this point. Then it started to waver a little bit. That was here. If you, in the overall prospects of this move, that was here. You still had this part to go. So that was like halfway through the move. No, it's not time to sell now just because it's overbought. You're probably halfway through this move, right? You've probably got more to go. So, in fact, I would think that you are about halfway through this move. But I do want to see one more thing from high to low. Your 2272 is all the way up there at the 1414, or sorry, 1.114. 1.14, damn. And then your 1272. Or 1414 itself is also right there. 1414 with a 2272. I like that. I like that a lot. But you also have serious resistance here. The 1886 200 level can be a little bit trifling as well. So hard to say where you're going to end up. I think it's going to be around $1 trillion personally. Whether it's just above, whether it's just below, it doesn't matter. But I think everything's going to get a 2x. Not everything will get a 3x, and the ones that do see a 3x or more are probably going to be the winners for the cycle between now and the end of this coming month and a half period. So if that makes sense to you guys, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. If there's anything that I missed or anything that I didn't go over, some things that you might think are interesting in this chart, please let me know, man. The monthly chart is looking really bullish. You guys, altcoin season, it starts now. It hasn't even started yet, or maybe it has just started, but we haven't seen it come into full fruition. We're just getting overbought. We do our best work in the overbought zone on the monthly. I'm curious real quick as to what the others chart would look like here. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you haven't. Let's just look at this real quick. Monthly, oh dude, it looks so bullish. Yeah. Very bullish. Oh yeah. You know, I should probably watch this chart. I think this would be a good chart for the bear cycle. Something to consider using the ribbons on there, but all right, I just wanted to look at that real quick for funsies. Daily looks good. Looks like we're about to move up. Weekly looks dominant. We're about to move up, and the monthly's just getting started. So yeah, we're definitely moving up. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you. If you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you very much. I do expect altcoins as a whole are on their way to seeing a 2 to 3x, probably just under a 3x on average. And you know the rest. Anything that's doing greater than the 3x is a winner for the cycle. Anything that's doing less than a 2x is probably something that just will underperform for the rest of the cycle between now and the end of January. So again, if you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.